emotional strength. Your emotional strength. And listen, let me tell you something. People will test your emotional strength. You know, I had a moment today. You know, I heard something, someone told me something, and I was just blown away. And I was driving towards a meeting, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I realized that, you know, it doesn't have to make sense, David. Why does it have to make sense? It doesn't have to make sense to you. What matters is maybe it makes sense to that individual. It doesn't have to make sense to you. And so it's all about emotional. It's all about emotional strength. And I'm going to cover some things with you. I know we've got some congratulations to the new chairman out there. I heard you did it in 2 months and 10 days. Congratulations to you out there in Australia. Funny enough, I'm working with a guy, Kamal. I'm working with him in Believe Nation, and he lives in Australia. So I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. But I'll tell you guys, in 2008, I was given a CD by a lady by the name of Berna Martin. I haven't seen Berna in a very, very long time. So this is 2008, so this is 12 years ago. And it was a CD by Kevin Trudeau, and it was called The 25 Secrets of Wealth Creation. 25 Secrets of Wealth Creation. And so he went over 25 different things, 25 different secrets to creating wealth. But what I really paid attention to was the very first 4. All right, and he called it the basics of success. And like Abdullah said, you know, in the very beginning, when you start learning this information, it doesn't really click right away. And just like it didn't click for me right away too, the first time that I heard it. So that's not a bad thing that if it doesn't click for you right away. But you got to keep listening to it. You got to keep listening to it. Success is about growth, and anything you're going to grow in, you're going to have to do it on a repetitious basis. All right, you're going to have to do it on a repetitious basis, ladies and gentlemen. So growth is about repetition. Growth is about doing it over and over and over again. And so I listened to that audio. I listened to it over and over and over again, and really start to apply it. Start to work. You know, 2009, I made 6 figures. 2010, I made over $500,000. By middle of 2011, I'd earned $1 million total. And I knew it was because of this information that I was learning, right? And now I've been able to teach it now to thousands of people. It was amazing today. I haven't done a hotel meeting in quite some time. So it was amazing to actually, you know, see people and have a chance to talk with them. And, you know, a lot of them came up and said, man, you really inspired me, whether it was through Believe Nation or whether it's through Instagram or whether it's through this company. And that's really what success is all about. It's not just about growth within yourself, but how many people do you give the opportunity to grow themselves? Because I know that when you're in a place of believing, that is a happy place. The place of believing is a happy place. It's a joyful place, all right? It's a place of peace. You don't have worries when you're in a place of believing. Believe, L-I-E-V-E, means loved by God. Be is to be in a state of. So when you're in a state of believing, what you're really affirming is, I'm loved by God. I'm loved by words. And this is why I created Believe Nation, to give myself and others a platform to really teach this message, because I know what it's done for me, and I know what it's done for countless amount of people around the world. So I'm going to go over tonight, some of you may have heard this, some of you may have not heard this, but I'm going to go over the 4 basics of success. The 4 basics of success. And understand that there is no top. There is no I've reached success. Because success is a moving target. Success is about growth. Success is about continue to contribute, continue to give back, continue to grow and help other people achieve great things. The mark of a great mentor is not in how much money they have made. The mark of a great mentor, if you want to find a great mentor, a great coach, it's not about how much money they've made. It's about the amount of people that they've impacted that are now financially free. The amount of people that are free, the amount of people that are free to be themselves, the amount of people that are free and don't, they can stand on their own. My leaders don't need me. All right, they can stand on their own. They're great people, they're great leaders. They can lead their organization. We've taught them, they've grown, they continue to grow. All right. I think that's the mark of a great mentor, and that's where you want to get to. You want to get to a point where you've got literally thousands of people that are part of your organization that are winning at a very, very high level, and you don't even know them. Think about Maureen. Maureen's a chairman. I didn't even know her. I knew her through Instagram, but not in person. So these 4 basics, ladies and gentlemen, these are things that you want to do over and over and over again. You want to do over and over and over again. And regardless of how high you go in this company, no matter how high you go in life, no matter how much money you make trading, no matter how much money you make, all right, you're going to need these 4 basics. All right, you're going to need these 4 basics. So I'm going to go over them with you. They're really, really simple. Number one is a decision. That's really what it is. Have you decided who you're going to listen to? Have you decided who you're going to listen to? I can trace your success or your non-success to who you decided to listen to. No matter how high you go, no matter how great you think you are, you're always going to need someone to listen to. Who have you decided that you're going to listen to? That is the number one question. I can track, I can look back at your life, I can look at your business, I can look at everything that's going on right now, and I can tell you that it all traces back to who you've decided to listen to. Most people, what they do is they listen to themselves. The challenge with listening to yourself is that you're the one with the challenge. You're the one with the problem. So it's hard for you to actually listen to yourself if you're the one that has the problem. You want to listen to the person that has the solution. You want to listen to the person that's gone through what it is that you're going through. Does that make sense? Your goal, right, in understanding success, the basis of success, is understanding that I've got to stay in a state of a student. I always have to be learning. I always have to be growing. Who am I listening to? Before this month is over, I want you to make a decision on who you're going to listen to. Who is the voice that you're going to submit to? Submission does not make you weak. Submission actually makes you strong. All right? Who are you going to listen to? Who is the person that's accomplished what it is that you want to accomplish, that you're going to actually not hear, because you can hear me. A lot of you are hearing me right now. There are a lot of people that have heard me over the years. But listening is something completely different. All right? If I'm talking to my daughter and I said, Kayla, hey, bring me the remote, she may have heard me, but until she brings me the remote, then she hasn't listened. So listening is hearing backed up by action. So when the coach says, hey, listen, you want to show the plan every single day. You want to show the plan 2 times a day or 3 times a day. When the coach says that, the person you've decided to listen to, now what that really means is there's not a debate in my mind on if I should do it. There's not a debate in my mind on if he or she is right. Okay? When you do not, listen to me closely, okay? When you decide not to listen to the person that you listened to, it's quite interesting. It happens all the time. When you decide not to listen to the person that you used to listen to, it's time for you to move on. Okay? And I'm speaking from personal experience. I had a mentor where I was listening. Everything he said, I did. It got to a point where I said, hold on, I don't necessarily agree with that. That's when it was time for me to move on, and it was the greatest decision I ever made. And there's nothing wrong with that. Every leader that I work with is not going to stay with me forever. Some will move on, and that is okay. All right? Because you have to stay in that mode of being a student. Who have you decided to listen to? That is so critical. In every area of your life, whatever area that is, you got to find that person that has exactly what it is that you want to create, has the results. And when I talk about results, I'm not talking about the results just in their life. Look at the fruit around them. Look at the people around them. How are those people faring right now? Okay. What type of success are those people having right now? Who are you going to listen to? Who are you? I want to harp on this. This is so critical because I watch people all the time fail in life because they decide not to listen. Listening is honoring. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to get it. You don't have to necessarily agree with it. All right? Because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. All right? Because everything else I'm going to cover tonight, it doesn't matter unless you've made the decision on who you're going to listen to. So when they say, hey, listen, prospect, 5 people a day, 10 people a day, or post, 5, 6, 7 times a day, or go live 1, 2 times a day, or make contact with 5 people a day, whether it's through social media, whether it's through in person. When the coach says do this, have you made a decision? A decision. It might be the greatest decision you've ever made in your life. It might just be the greatest decision that you've ever made in your life. Who am I listening to? That's the decision you've got to make. You're worried about going to the next level. You're worried about this. You're worried about that. You're worried about your team. You're worried about the back office. All that doesn't matter. Focus on the basics. Who am I listening to? Whose voice am I hearing on a consistent basis? Listening gives you access. There are people that now have access to me because they have listened even when I didn't know they were listening. Okay? Even when I did not know they were listening, because they were listening, it gave them access in order to reach out and say, hey, can you do this? And subconsciously, my answer would be yes. Subconsciously, I answer yes. Why? Because they have been listening. Who are you listening to? Who is that voice? You got to make that decision. This is not, hey man, you got to listen to me. No, you ain't got to listen to me. Find whoever it is that you connect with, that you feel has the results, is where it is that you want to go, has done what it is that you want to do. They have the fruit. They have the results, not just in their life, but the people that are around them. Pay attention to that. That's who you need to listen to. Okay? Everybody's not going to listen to me. I don't want everybody to listen to me. I can't coach and mentor everybody. Okay? So that's number one. Have you made that decision, ladies and gentlemen? That is critical, because you're either listening to that person or you're listening to that other voice in your head that's telling you you can't do it. That's not possible. That is not logical. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Success is not logical. There is nothing logical about what is going on right now in this company. And that's why I kind of chuckle when I see certain things, because people think that it's the surface things that has created the success that this company has, and it's not. It's very, very spiritual. It's extremely, extremely spiritual. And I'm going to get to that as to why that is. Okay. See, once you've made that decision, and it's a decision, it might be the greatest decision that you've ever made in your life. It just might be the greatest decision you've ever made in your life. Who do you listen to? Joshua needed Moses' voice. Elisha needed Elijah's voice. Mind needs. Your mind needs a focus. Your mind needs a structure, but your mind also needs a hero. Your mind needs a hero. A hero is someone that you're going to listen to. Who excites you? You're trying to determine, who do I need to listen to? Who excites you? Who do you trust? Okay? Who do you love? Who are you willing to serve? These are questions you need to ask yourself before you decide this is the person I'm going to listen to. Ask yourself, does this person excite me? Do I actually have a genuine love for this person? Do I care about this person? Do I respect this person? Do they have the results? Not the results just in their lives, but the people that are around them. Do they have the results? Do I see little of them? See, I see Takir, I see Abdullah in Takir. And then I see Abdullah's leaders, I see Takir in Abdullah's leaders. That's leadership. Leadership is when you start creating other people that are like you. Nothing wrong with that. Because I know, well, I just got to be my own self. Great, you do that. You be your own self. Okay. You do that. You go and you just be you. Do it your way. That's fine. I don't know how much impact you're going to have doing it that way. Okay. So, make that decision. That is going to be the greatest decision you've ever made. Because once you've made that decision, now we can move into step two. Step two says, the second step, right? The 4 basics. The second basic is, how teachable and coachable are you? How teachable and coachable are you? Am I willing to learn from this individual, and am I willing to change? Am I willing to learn? Am I willing to change? There is a process to change. Change is about awareness. Change is about acceptance. And then it's about reconditioning. Am I willing to learn from this individual? The answer is yes. But am I willing to change? Am I willing to do things differently from the way that I've done it? Am I willing to start thinking differently? Am I willing to start acting differently from the way that I've done it before? How teachable and coachable are you? This is one of the attributes that I look for in leadership development. How teachable and coachable is this individual? That's one of the great attributes every leader has. They have the ability to be teachable and coachable. There's a level of respect. There's a level of honor. Okay? Listen, let me tell you guys something. The coach doesn't call you, you call the coach. The mentor doesn't call you, you call the mentor. That's how it works. When you have a friendship, right? When you have a friendship, then yeah, maybe it kind of goes back and forth. But if you have a mentor, all right, who, if it's a she or he, doesn't matter, you call her. Okay? Now here's the deal. You got to be careful with number 1 and number 2, because you're going to have some parasites that come into your life. They don't want what's in your heart. They don't want your way of thinking. They want your success. They want your success. They don't want what's in your heart. Interest. And you're going to have them in your group. Now, don't worry about that. That's going to happen. Okay? And then you're going to have proteges. All right? Yes, proteges, not only do they want the success, but they also want to adapt your way of thinking. They want the heart that you have, the heart that you have for people. Leaders that are boastful, okay? If they're leaders, if I see a leader that's boastful, that's not my heart. That's not how I operate. Okay? Period, end of story. I don't. You'll hear me say it all the time. My success is because of God. One, first. That's it. Okay? So you got to now make the decision, okay, this is who I'm going to listen to, but am I willing to change? There's some things about you that probably need to change. Not probably, they need to change. And a lot of times when I give the show, I'm really talking to chairmen, because a lot of times you think, oh, well, okay, I'm a chairman now. So now I don't need to listen as much. Well, I'm a chairman 10, or I'm a chairman 25, or 50, or 100, or 250, or 500, 750, doesn't matter. Well, I don't really need to listen anymore. Takir could have said the same thing. Well, I don't need to listen to Abdullah anymore. He's a 50, I'm a 50. And if I saw that, I would have given Takir a call. Hey, bro, are you okay? Did you forget? Did you forget what he did? That's what would have happened, but I haven't seen that. Okay. You got to understand these first two things I'm covering with you right now. If you don't get those first two things, 3 and 4 are not going to matter. 3 and 4 are not going to matter whatsoever. Who do I listen to? Number one, that's a decision you got to make. Once you make that decision, man, listen, you really, half the battle is really done. Then you make another decision. I'm willing to learn, but also I'm willing to change. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to be aware of my faults. I'm willing to accept them. And I'm willing to do the work to recondition, to start developing a new mindset, to start developing a new way of thinking. Okay? Who do you listen to? So you say, well, who do I listen to? Right? If you're brand new in this business, your sponsor, right? But then also find out who's your upline P1000, who's your upline P2000, who's your upline P5, who's your upline Chairman 10. Go up the line, find out who that person is. Maybe it's your Chairman 10. Whoever has the results in which you're looking to create, that is who you listen to. But once you find that person, it's a decision. But when you find that person, now it's I'm willing to learn, but I'm also willing to change. So I'm willing to learn as a 10. I'm willing to change as a 10. 10 times 10 is 100. I'm a student. I'm ready to rock and roll. There is no top. I've never gotten to the top, so I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to grow. I'm always willing to get better. Okay? All right? See, people that I go to for coaching, last year, if COVID wasn't here, I would have spent another few $100,000 on coaching. All right? I've heard Bob Proctor train hundreds of times. Okay? One time paid over $80,000 for tables at a conference. Why? Because not only do I want to get the information, I want to pass the information down through the organization as well. I wouldn't have done that before. I wouldn't have invested that type of money before, but I made a decision. In 2017, my first full year in this company, I said, that is who I'm going to listen to, and I'm going to change my way of thinking, because I was taught, don't take your team to those types of events. I said, now I got to do things a little bit different. I can't be afraid. I can't be threatened. I can't say, well, I can't give someone else access to my group. Because we were taught limited access, full access, fear. That's really what it boils down to, fear. Okay? All right? You got to make that decision. I'm willing to learn, but I'm also willing to change. Willing to change the way I think. Once you get that, I tell you, you get excited about number 3. Basic step number 3 is my favorite one. I call it the success balance scale. Everything, this is the premise, in the physical first showed up in the spirit. Everything that is visible was first invisible. Everything that you can see today at one point was in the unseen. Okay? So the way it works is this. You got to be able to see both sides at the same time. Okay? See, one side over here, things may not be in the natural. Your business is not where it is that you want it to go. It's not where it is that you want it to be. But in the spirit realm, what I'm speaking is, I'm the head and not the tail. Everything I touch is blessed. But what most people do is they only look at the physical things. They only look at what's going on in the physical. They only look at their back office. They only look at their bank account. They only look at people falling off. They only look at the negative things that are happening. They look at what's going on in the world. Oh, it's the pandemic, or it's financial, there's a financial crisis that's taking place. Talk to Jeff Bezos about the financial crisis that's taking place. The man went from $109 billion to over $200 billion. It took him 19 years to go from 0 to 109 billion, and it took him just 1 year. And the worst year, that most people say the worst year ever, it took him that 1 year to double his wealth. Ask him how 2020 was. Everything that shows up in the physical first showed up in the spirit. The business that you want to see in your back office, you're going to have to first create it in the spirit realm. Anything you're going to build, ladies and gentlemen, anything you're going to build, you're first going to have to build it in your mind. This building that I'm in right now, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? It first existed in the spirit realm. It first existed in someone's mind. They came together. Let's build a high-rise. And we're going to call it this. And then they went and they started creating the blueprint for it, put the blueprint down on paper. So this is how many rooms we're going to have. This is how many apartments we're going to have. Did they have any buyers at that time? Did they have anybody that was ready to buy at the time? Nope, they didn't have anybody who was ready to buy. But they knew that, okay, we've got to create it in the spirit realm first. We got to put it down on paper, and then we'll go out and physically build it. And then guess what? The buyers will show up, and the people that are going to live there, they're going to show up. If you build the business in your mind and you put it down on paper, the people that are necessary for that business to be built, they will show up. They have no choice but to show up. I'm going to say it again. If you build the business that you desire in your mind first, just like this building was built in someone's mind first, or a collective group of people's minds first, and you put it down on paper, you create the blueprint. That's why I created the IML blueprint. You create the blueprint for it. The people that are necessary for the completed project, for it to show up in the physical, they will come. Why? Because you've already created in the spirit. It has no choice. The physical has no choice but to follow what the spirit says. No choice. It's automatic. Do you get that? Automatic. That's why it says before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you. How is that? Okay. How is that? Okay. This case, all right, was in someone's mind before it showed up. Okay. Everything. Okay. Tiffany sent me this mug, right? All right. Before this mug showed up in the physical, it was in someone's mind. This candle, right? I'm all about Baccarat, right? So this Baccarat candle, right? This was in someone's mind, right? Before it showed up in the physical. On the spiritual side of success, it's thoughts, thinking, words, visualization, emotions, images, hearing, okay, vision, goals, desires, intention, imagination. Hopefully you're writing this down. These are all ingredients that are utilized in order to create what it is that you want in the spirit realm. That's why we have the affirmation of I'm so happy and grateful now. See, right now, what I put up, what I see all the time, I have this sign all over the place, is I'm so happy and grateful now that I earn $1 million a day. I'm holding this desire in my mind. I'm literally creating this right now in the spirit realm. It's being created right now in the spirit realm. And one day it's going to show up in the physical. David, how do you know this really works? How do you know it's really that simple? I don't know, because I've seen it for thousands of years. I just have to look back. I don't have to really go that far. I can look back 100 years and I can see how things in the spirit show up in the physical. Our world is completely different from how it looked 100 years ago. It's completely different from how it looked 500 years ago. Who came up with those thoughts to create these buildings and create cars and airplanes and it says any desire that I hold in my mind, any desire that I hold in my mind will eventually reproduce itself in physical action. Reproduce. Well, it can't be reproduced unless it's first produced. You're trying to reproduce something that you haven't produced yet. You produce it in the mind. You produce it in the spirit realm, and then you reproduce it with the physical side of things, with the actions that you take, the presentations that you do, the prospecting that you do, the promoting for events that you do, the leadership trainings that you do, the reading of the books and the listening of the audios that you do, all the physical things that it takes. In whatever field that you're in, whatever field that is, there's some physical things that you must do. In this business, with its trading, there's some physical things that you have to do. But you're not going to get the 6 figures, you're not going to get the 7 figures in the physical without first having it in the spirit. And the 3 most critical parts to it, creating in the spirit, is your words, is your images. That's why we tell people, get the pictures. See, if you look at Takir, if you look at Abdullah's screenshot, it's the image of where it is that they're going. They see it every day. 10 chairman 10s, 20 chairman 10s. They see it every day. You say, well, how did it really happen? That is one of the worst questions you can ever ask. How did it happen? How does it happen? How does it happen that in 2006, someone gives me an audio tape in 2006, gives me an audio tape on how to recruit through calling genealogy lists. No one even calls genealogy lists anymore. How is it that I prospected a lady in 2007, went and did a presentation for her, she said no, and because I listened to that tape that he gave me in 2006, for the very first time, I asked for referrals, and 3 names came up, and Jared Wilkins was one of the names. How is it that I called Jared, and I said, Jared, hey, I'm involved in a travel company. Hey, he says, no, I'm not interested. I'm involved in another company. Years go by. Okay? Through that genealogy tape, right? I in prospecting, doing the action, I then do a presentation, doing the action, and then I meet Jared, and through process of time, I meet a lady by the name of Julia, Okay? Julia on the phone, May of 2009, introduces me to Edward Hartley. Rest his soul in peace. Okay? A year later, Edward Hartley gets involved in the business. From there on out, guess what? I meet Gary McSween. Okay. From there on out, that's how Zane Khan's organization came down through Edward Hartley. And it all started from a cassette tape. See, any desire that you hold in your mind, it's going to eventually reproduce itself in some physical action and then gradually transform itself into physical action. I can go story after story after story after story, a person after person after person, where you'll look back and say, man, how did that happen? See, the how is not your problem. That's the problem, is that you think it happens through you. You think you did it. You think, no. So I'm just glad I know. I'm just glad I know. I know it's not me. I'm so grateful for that. I would be nervous. I would be. Matter of fact, you know what? I already went through that. I went through that years ago, where I thought the success was mine. I did that. Yeah, I'm a bad boy. And God took it away. I said, oh, I get it. Oop, I get it. Grace, favor, the Spirit, thoughts, thinking, desire, dream, words, visualization, emotions, the emotion of gratitude. The emotion of gratitude, the emotion of faith, the emotion of love. Treating people good, treating people right. Whether they're in your group or not in your group, whether they're in your company or not in your company. Whether they give you credit or they don't give you credit. That happens all the time. It is what it is. Okay? And then you go out there, you do the physical work, the how-tos, the activity. There's two sides. The success balance scale, 90 to 99% of success. Get this, 90 to 99% of success is spiritual. 1 to 10% is physical. I did a presentation today, and I probably spoke for about an hour. 45 minutes of the presentation was all spirit. 15 minutes on the presentation. Who's ready to get started? All the guests stood up. Why? Because it's the spirit that moves people. They don't remember the presentation. They don't remember how many customers it is to go from Platinum 600. They don't remember that. They remember how you made them feel. How did you make them feel? When you come in contact with someone, how do they feel? When they see you on social media, what are you giving off? What is the energy that you're giving off? I'm very conscientious of the energy that I give off. The energy that I give off has to be inspiring. It has to be encouraging. It has to be about belief. It's got to be about how we can pull through whatever the challenge is. Gotta make that decision as well. That you're going to be the person that uplifts people. You're going to be the person that encourages people. Come together. How can we get better? We're going to stop pointing fingers at everybody else, and we're going to say, what can we do? I'm not going to point the finger at my upline. I'm not going to point the finger at the company. I'm not going to point the finger at my group and say, what can we do to get better? What can I do to get better? Okay. And then number 4 is patience. To go through the process of learning. In the very beginning, you're going to be unconsciously incompetent. You don't know what you don't know. And then you're going to go into conscious incompetence where you realize, remember, I'm aware now, I don't know. Conscious incompetence. I am aware. I don't know. Now I'm in a place where I can learn, where I want to learn. Once I start to learn, my goal eventually is to get to conscious competence, where now, he said, put the pictures up. I'm going to go and get the magazines. I'm going to cut the pictures out, and I'm going to do it. See, guys, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And I've got the Rolls Royce. I've got a couple of them. I've had a Lambo, I've got the Ferrari, but I'm still doing it. Why? Because there is no top. There is no top. There is no I've made it. There is no I'm the greatest. There is no I'm the best. It doesn't exist. Probably the only person that can say that they're the greatest or they're the best, Jeff Bezos, $200 billion man. You understand? Let me digress for a second. For those of you that think that, you really doing it, stay humble. 1 million seconds ago was 12 days ago. 1 million seconds. So $1 million, 1 million seconds, right, ago, was 12 days ago. You know what that tells me? That tells you can lose $1 million in 12 days. 1 billion seconds ago, 32 years. There is no top. There is no you're the greatest. No, doesn't exist. Appreciate all the compliments, great, fantastic. But 1 billion seconds is 32 years ago. David, there is no top. There's a story in the ancient text, the Bible, where there was a king that hired a man to tell him, to walk around with him all day long, to tell him, you're only a man. Remember, you're only a man. Why am I telling you this? Because there's a process that you're going to have to go through to learn before you get to mastery, where you're unconsciously competent, where you don't even have to think about it, and you know what you're doing. I love conscious competence. I love doing that. I love doing it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because I know it's working. I know it's creating. It's creating that spirit side. He said, man, how did it happen? How did he do it? And I'm going to tell you again, that's the worst question you can ask, is how? Why? Why did he do it? What was he doing? What was he thinking? What was she thinking? What were the principles that she was applying that allowed her to get to the next level? It says, I will eliminate hatred and envy and jealousy. Get rid of those emotions. It's already done. Whatever the goal is, it's already done. That's what you speak. It's already done. That's speaking in the spirit realm. That's speaking those things as though they are. I'm not going to speak what's going on currently. If you're dealing with a health situation, don't speak about the health situation. Speak life to the health situation. You want your business to grow? Speak life to your business. You want to go to the next level? Start speaking that you're at the next level. And watch how your words, see, words, that's the muscle, that's the belief muscle. Watch how your words start to have power. I told you last year, I said mainstream. I've seen more articles, all right? I've seen more articles, more this year than any other year, mainstream. People going mainstream. So Bryce featured in Forbes magazine, mainstream. Okay? Mainstream. Okay, so Christopher Terry, featured in Forbes magazine, mainstream. Okay? Our words have power, but I worked on it. Your words have power, but are you working on it? Are you confessing? Are you leading? Are you loving people? Are you setting the expectations, speaking the words of what it is that you want? Are you taking massive action every single day? Are you disciplined in your actions? To gain the experience, to gain the results that you're looking for? That's the whole ball game, guys. Belief and leadership. It's the whole ball game. You get that? You go as far as you want to go in this business and in life. Okay. I can't wait to come back to the UK. UK is an immediate stop. All right. When it opens, I'll definitely be on a flight. United. I will be on that flight to the UK. Definitely looking forward to that. And Abdullah, Takir, thank you for inviting me onto the call here tonight. Really, really excited for both of you. Takir, man, you keep rocking, man. You keep being the great person that you are, the great leader that you are. You have the heart of your leader. You know, you don't care about your success. You care about your team's success. And I can tell that every time we talk, you're not talking about, you know, what's happening for you. You're talking about the amount of champions that are breaking in your organization. And Abdullah, you keep being, you guys are lifers. You know, you guys are lifers, not just business, but people that I would have in my life forever. So I